Damn it. How do I stop being jealous of other people? This sounds terrible, but I get jealous so easily and I hate it. I hate it so much, but I have no idea how to stop. I always get jealous of people who have things I wish I had, and it takes such a huge toll on my self esteem. I read posts saying, don't compare yourself to them, or find out what you like and try and reach that goal. But I can't. The things I like are the things I don't have and might not ever have. The reason I get jealous of people is because they, for example, have a narrower shoulders than me, or they have a nice voice, or they have a pretty face shape, or they make friends easily and can hold conversations easily. All things I don't have and some I have no way of getting. I can't change my bone structure, so how do I make myself feel better about that? Maybe you're focusing on the wrong aspects. Okay, or maybe you're not looking at things correctly. Being jealous, I don't really think there's anything wrong with being jealous as long as you put it all into context, you know. The way when you put it all into the right perspective, being jealous is a factor that can help motivate you into becoming something better. Because if you're jealous of something, that means you have a goal that you're trying to achieve. The main thing is you have to figure out what exactly is the goal you want to achieve. So you being jealous of people having, or in your situation, being jealous of people having certain physical characteristics that you had, physical and social characteristics that you had. If you had all those characteristics, would you be a better person? Do you think that will make you a better person than whatever characteristics that you may already have? Why can't you use your own characteristics to be a better person? I have this other method that's I don't consider it to be great. I don't consider it to be the best method because sometimes you kind of get stuck in your own head. But sometimes I think the best way to realize how, okay you may be, or how much better your life may be than you perceive it to be, is to fish for compliments. Yeah, I'm not saying it's the best thing. I'm not, you shouldn't do it all the time. I think, every once in a while you feel down and there's nothing wrong with fishing for compliments. Every once in a while. You don't have to do it all the time. Like, I'm horrible at basketball. Okay. And being a Filipino, that's like a mortal sin. That is the biggest sin that you can have as a man in the Philippines, to be horrible at basketball. When I went to study in the Philippines, or whenever I found a job in the Philippines, the first question would always be, marunong ka ba mag-basketball? Magaling ka ba mag-basketball? And I'd just be like, yeah. So you have to kind of imagine that, oh my gosh, I suck at basketball. Nobody will like me. And it would make me jealous of people that were good at basketball. I see other people that are good at basketball, and it's like, why can't I do that? If I could just dunk, at least I could be a 5'6" Filipino guy that knows how to dunk the ball. I could jump. I have a vertical jump of 4 extra feet. But that's not the case. So now I have to look for things that will make me feel good. Okay? So sometimes I go out and watch others play basketball with everybody else, and I'm sitting on the bleachers, sidelines, whatever, and they invite me to play basketball, but I suck at basketball. And you're just kind of sitting there like, okay, that was good. And now your self-esteem is kind of shot because you're not good. So what do? I fish for compliments. And it helps. It helps. I'm not gonna lie. It helps. Fishing for compliments is okay, but I think it should be in moderation. You shouldn't be ashamed if you fish for compliments, okay? When you feel down, when you feel really down, just try fishing for some compliments, okay? And here's the next thing, okay? When you get those compliments, when you finally manage to reel one in, okay? You get a really good compliment, you go to the nearest mirror, okay? And you look in that mirror and you repeat that compliment to yourself, imagining how sincere the person that gave that compliment was. And once you get that ball rolling, okay, you stop fishing for compliments for a while. All right, stop for a while, because if you do it too much, then you're just a dick. But now that you have that little high, that's good enough to get you through, okay? Now this is what you have to do now. You got your compliment. You got a sincere compliment from somebody. Now you have to look for other things that you feel are good about you. And you have to look in that same mirror and just tell yourself, this is me. This is also what I'm good at, okay? Now, once again, I'm still jealous of people that are good at basketball. I'm still jealous. Like, I wish I could dance good as well. I'm a horrible dancer. I see people dance. I can't even do I suck at dancing. I know. The most I get is moving back and forth, but I still try to fish for compliments. So every once in a while, I'll do a crip walk or something. I'll get 6 good steps in or something, 6 or 7, and somebody will be like, wow, galing mo. That was nice. Castiga or something, you know what I mean? And you go back to that mirror. You go back to that mirror and you say, damn, I got the moves, okay? Even though you're not good, but you fished for it, okay? You go to that mirror and you use that high again, and you just kind of be like, I'm capable of doing it. Maybe if I just try to do it. And if you fail at other things, or if you try to do other things because you felt good from that, so you felt like you feel invincible for a while, then just keep trying, if you fail, you fail. If you succeed, you succeed. What do you have to lose? You're already at this point where you feel, you know what I mean? You're kind of just there. I don't know, friend, but I'll reiterate it. I don't think jealousy is entirely bad as long as you keep things in perspective, okay? So like I said, you're bad at something, you fish for a bit of compliments, you use that high, and you try to push yourself, okay? That's the hardest part about it all, is really just pushing yourself to get through the next couple days. And eventually you'll find that sweet spot. You'll find that ever so sweet spot where you'll feel good about yourself despite things going around you, okay? You'll learn to appreciate what you have. You learn to appreciate the imperfections of yourself. You learn to see the imperfection of others, and you learn to appreciate them as well for their imperfections, not just for what their perfections are. And on a serious note, if you feel really bad about yourself, I don't see what's wrong with getting a little help, okay? There's nothing wrong with admitting that you need help. Go see a therapist, see a doctor, see somebody that can help you, okay? Anyway, I hope in some way this will help anyone that needs help with their jealousy. I hope we can always better ourselves, and till next time.